talking about 7 tips for moving out of state. So I hope you guys are having a good day. And we are in this process. And we've been in this, been through this process a few different times as a family. And my views of moving out of state have changed over the time. But here's the 7 things. If you're moving out of state for the first time, 7 things to do or that will help you in your process. Okay. So the first thing is to allow plenty of time for your move because you need to figure out where you live, the jobs, the schools, all the things. There's a lot that comes with a move. So it's best to allow yourself a lot of time to get it planned out. Number 2 is start your packing early. I was talking with a guy who owns a moving company, and he said that he has only been to like 2 moves where the people were completely packed. Otherwise, the majority is they're not all the way packed. And I think some of that is because we don't realize how much stuff that we have or how much time it's going to take to disassemble everything, put it in boxes, label it, get it to where it needs to go. It takes a lot more time than we think it does. Number 3, make sure that you have all your connections to back home or the area that you're leaving. This one is key, and I've actually lost connections with some good friends from other states because I didn't have their connections in all these ways. So, for example, I like to add the person on social media. Okay, that's one way. I like to have their phone number. That's a second way of contact. And then I like to have their address. So there's 3 different ways. I have a friend from North Dakota who she was like one of my best friends that I hung out with a lot there. And I don't have any way to contact her. And the reason why is because she moved, right? So that's change of address. And then my phone broke and I lost all of my contacts. So I lost her phone number. And she doesn't have social media. So I didn't have all 3. So we haven't talked for a few years because I've Googled her name, but can't find her. Do you know what I'm saying? So please, if you're moving and you want to stay in contact with those people, try to get them on all 3 things: social media, their phone number, and their address. That way, if social media goes out, you'll still have their phone number. Or if your phone breaks and you lose all contacts, then you'll still have their address. So find lots of ways to connect with the people that you're leaving behind for your move so that you can stay connected in the future. Number 4 is to plan exciting things into your day, your days ahead. So sometimes when we're thinking about a move, it can become more of a dreading. We start to dread the move. And a really good way to offset that is to plan fun things in your new location. So do a Google search, look for the fun new things, or ask somebody who's been there of the recommendations, look for nearby state parks, whatever you're into, find something that excites you in that area and make a list of things that you want to do there. And this is really for your mindset to help you look forward to the move instead of dreading the move. Because as I've explained before, what we look for and what we think on is what our subconscious brain will look for. So if we're thinking we're going to dread the move, then our brain is going to look for reasons to dread the move, right? If we're excited for the move, our brain will look for more reasons to be excited about the move. Number 5 is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Moving is uncomfortable. Being in a completely new area where you don't know anybody, you don't know the streets, sometimes you don't know the culture, it's uncomfortable. And the more that you can become comfortable being uncomfortable, the better. So I feel like it sounds very hard, but it's not. Just start stepping out of your comfort zone, whether your move is 6 months away or a year away. Just start doing little steps out of your comfort zone so you'll get used to being out of your comfort zone, because when everything is different, you're automatically out of your comfort zone. So if you like being confident when you're uncomfortable is a skill that you can develop. So why not start developing that skill little by little before you move and before everything is different, right? So have that strength that you can already bring into the move. Number 6 is think about if you need a storage unit. On some of our moves, we have had a storage unit in a different state. It's really convenient for not bringing all of our stuff if it's like a temporary move, or if we have family back home that can keep some of our stuff, so we don't have to sell it all. But if you are choosing not to get a storage unit and you're not going to store any of your stuff in this alternate place, start purging. Start getting rid of all the stuff that you don't need, because when you have less stuff, it makes the move so much easier. And actually you find out that you're not really attached to all of the stuff that you have. So if you don't need it, get rid of it if you're not going to have a storage unit. Okay, and number 7 is plan your connections in your new area. So this is different than planning fun things. This is figuring out where are you going to start creating friendships. And this is a proactive step, so you don't get there and then get stuck in loneliness and homesickness because you don't have anybody to talk to and you don't know where to create those connections. So as you're looking at the new area, do a Google search or whatever you do to learn about the new area, think about where you can connect with other people. So is it finding a church? Is it finding a 4-H group? Is it finding a coffee shop? Is it finding a dance group? Whatever you are into, find a way to connect with people who are also into that thing, because that's where you're going to start creating friendships. And when you move to a new state and everything is completely new, creating friendships is extremely important. We all need conversations in our lives, and we all need deeper level conversations, not just talk about the weather conversations, because that's when you start feeling incredibly lonely, even though you're surrounded by people. And it can actually be this thing that messes with your mind. You're like, I'm with people, why am I lonely? But it's because you don't have those strong, deep conversations and connections. So when you find a place, even before you move, find those places that you know that you can go there to start connecting, to start building friendships, and then you'll be in a lot better place after you move, because you'll be steps ahead and already working towards getting good friendships in your life. So I hope that helps. We're at home today. Hugo is sick, so he's just a little raspy in his throat and stuff. So I put some RC on his back, RC on his chest. We have RC in the diffuser. So he should be good in a day. He's just taking a rest day. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.